Hello and welcome to the Pose Out channel. Well, that's what I call it. No, this isn't Django Fett as I promised. Unfortunately, the toy outlet still hasn't got them in. I don't know if it's import or exporting issues, but you'll have to put them on hold for now and come back to these two, which I had on my old camera, which was pretty naff. So it's going to be the Hulk, comic book Hulk, taking on Ant-Man and Wasp. And you can see one of my DVDs, Quantum Mania, because I've got all three films in my collection, and they've got the images of these two guys down here, and I'll come in close to them. And you've got Paul Rudd on the left playing Ant-Man and Evangeline Lilly. And I first saw that actress, I'll come to her first, that's her there, in the Hobbit films. But she's a pretty good actress. She's been going on to do a lot of stuff. And I've got them there holding hands, as you can see. And he's got his gesture hand on, Paul Rudd. Just to create that little dynamic between them two. And also if I come around the back there, you'll see the technology pack on the back of Wasp, which sprouts out the wings. So what you've got there is the two of them looking outward, while the Hulk, I'll put back his other head sculpt, is looking at the pair of them. So let's crack this one on and show you the poses I'm going to come up with. Stay tuned to the channel. So here's the first pose, and they've got Wasp on a flight stand and Hulk is bearing down on Ant-Man. And I've changed out the hand gestures on both figures, Wasp and Ant-Man, into fighting fists. And that's a nice dynamic. There, I'll swing it around so you can get an all-round view. Not bad. I'll come on the other side so you can see what Ant-Man looks like. And see what he's dealing with. Yeah, I do like this figure. It was ages before I picked him up. I mean, I think it was the second film in, and they finally got one in my shop, but I was pleased with him. And the same for Wasp, really. I missed out on her the first time, but what I do like about Wasp is you can see her eyes through the helmet, so I quite like that. And you can pretty much just about make out his eyes, but I don't know if you can get that on film. But yeah, I think with these two, they work well together. But I didn't think the comic book Hulk would work, but it does. It's all right. It doesn't look too bad. So I'll pause it again and step up the next pose. Yeah, this was really fiddly, but I'd managed to pull it off. Hulk has got Ant-Man by the leg, and he's about to smash him to pieces on the ground, like he did in the Avengers film when Loki challenged him, and then afterwards Hulk said, "Puny human." So I'm going to get a close-up on that dynamic. Not too bad. And Hulk is staring him down. And on that tech suit, he's got blast effects on his gauntlets, and he's trying to get a few shots off before Hulk deals with him. But that's not too bad, that look. And then Wasp, who is Ant-Man's love interest, is coming in to help him she has the ability to fly. So I'm going to pause it and show a different angle because it's a lot easier on the camera. So that's a slightly different angle. Quite like that. I haven't changed Wasp, she's still the same, but you will get to see her in a moment. That's not too bad when you take it like that. So I'll pause it again and show you the next angle. So I'm not really pleased with this one because it was really fiddly to get him to hold on to Antman, but I thought I'd give it a shot. That's not too bad. And I've moved Wasp onto the other side. Yeah, that bit there where you're trying to hold his leg is very fiddly, but you can do it and you can pose it that way. And I'm also trying to create the movement there. Let's come in close on Wasp because we're not seeing much of her at the moment. Not too bad. Yeah. And I'll pause it one more time and see what we can come up with. So this, I think, will be the final one. And I'll go close up on Wasp first. And she's staring Hulk down. I've changed out one of Hulk's hands for the fighting fist, if you've noticed. That's not a bad dynamic there. I'll see if we can swing it round. From there. I'm going to pause it so I get it more square on for you guys. So I think that's about the best I can do for now. This is a quick one. That Hulk trying to hold Ant-Man's quite fiddly. And I might come back to it at a later date. But let's come in close. The back of Hulk. He's even ripped on his back. And there's Ant-Man there squaring up to him, firing those blasters off his gauntlet. And there's Wasp backing him up. Let's swing it around, see what we can get. I must get a flight stand for Wasp because I can't understand why Marvel Legends didn't give us one. But at the end of the day, you can pick flight stands up from anywhere. So yeah, that's about it really. I'm gonna leave it there. Let's find a nice shot to end with. I think that's my favourite one, to be honest. So until I get that Jango Fett, I'm going to come up with some others. In fact, I've got one more shot I think I'm going to try. So I'm going to pause it one more time. Yeah, I thought I'd try this one because I wanted to get Hulk on one knee and give you more clarity with the other two figures because they were a bit obscure through the filming. So I just come in close on Hulk there. He's supposed to be wincing in pain because both Wasp and Ant-Man have basically fired their weapons at him and it's forced him to one knee. And there's both of them in that shot. So I'll do the close-up on Ant-Man first. Nice little figure that. His joints are really tight so you can really get him in some nice dynamic positions. And the suit is quite close to the movie There's a few slight blemishes there, but overall it is Ant-Man and not a bad design for a suit with the Marvel films. Let's get a close-up on Hulk. I love his space sculpt, can't deny that. And then finally to Wasp. The fact that you can see her eyes through the suit, I really like that. That's a nice angle of her. Let's come around to this position. Yeah, you can really see those eyes. So overall, that's Ant-Man and Wasp taking on comic book Hulk. And I am after the comic book Ant-Man and Wasp because they're awesome. But on that note, I'll say thanks for watching. And you never know, the next one might be Jango Fett, but I'm not going to bet on it. So see you on the channel next time. Thanks for watching.